Hey guys, welcome to the newest episode of BlizzPlanet.com's Diablo Dialogue. Now, as always, I'm your host, the Bearded Gamer. Getting a little demonic right now with the beard, right? Chris Arnone. So let's talk about last week's question first off. So, since Eldorian sucks so much at predicting stuff in general, we were wondering, when do you think patch 1.0.5 is actually going to launch? Here were your best answers. So thanks as always for your comments, your suggestions, everything else. We love to highlight those comments. We love it when you guys throw down the comments. It shows us that you're actually paying attention or that you really just hate us. So, weekly news roundup time.
Stay a while and listen.
So we're going to talk patch notes for 1.0.5, but first off, I got a little beef. So apparently some people were complaining that we don't get really deep into the specifics for the different patch notes. To those people I say, well, don't bitch if I got to read from the screen all the time when you want the exact numbers, all right? But we are going to get a little into the nitty-gritty of what we know, some more patch notes for 1.0.5. So last week we got some new updates into the PTR with 1.0.5. Now most of the changes are bug fixes and a handful of sort of new stuff that's being changed. So some of these changes will include an option to display auction house events such as sales, expirations, and whatnot added to your social menu. Thank God. You can actually check what's going on with your auctions without leaving the game. Took them long enough, right? Some affixes on items now roll their level based on the level of the monster you killed, rather than on the items level. Now, granted, this came with patch 1.0.5, but it now applies to random affixes on legendary items as well. In addition, random health from globes affix now benefits potions. The treasure goblin will play a sound when he becomes aware of your presence. So that helps you, and if you got a crazy follower that goes after the treasure goblin, and by the time you realize it's there, he's teleporting away. So he'll make a noise now. You can change the icon for each tab on your shared stash. Now this is really intended to allow players who are a little kind of crazy OCD about organization, like this bearded guy right here, to organize things a little better. So you can actually have icons for, like, here's my gems, here's my armor, here's my weapons. Get a little crazy with it, but perfect for someone like me. Now, some changes to some skill classes. Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter Sentry skill is getting a buff, increasing weapon damage from 88% to 175%. Big buff there. The skill rune Spitfire Turret increases damage from 15% to 30%, and the skill rune Chain of Torment increases weapon damage from 100% to 125%. Witch Doctor. Fire Bats are reducing their mana cost by 20%. The Haunt skill now has weapon damage increase from 575% over 12 seconds to the same but over 6 seconds. So it's going to work, get all that damage in half the time. Now the skill rune Resentful Spirit is increasing weapon damage from 287% to 383% over 2 seconds. Really, you couldn't have picked a stranger number. The Wizard, there's getting a buff to Disintegrate, a couple of different ways. First off, arcane power cost is reduced from 20 to 18, and the weapon damage increase from 155% to 170%. Now the skill rune Chaos Nexus is getting weapon damage increase from 40% to 44%. Skill rune Entropy weapon damage increased from 178% to 196%, and finally, skill rune Intensify has weapon damage increased from 202% to 221%. There, are you happy? Right now, you can go buy Diablo 3 kind of cheap, right? So, Toys R Us looks like they're maybe getting rid of a lot of their stock of PC games. So right now, this includes Diablo 3 for $9.99. But it gets really cool because there are several places, physical retailers, that are price matching this. Now, right now, you got to go into a Toys R Us store. They're sold out online. But if you print off the ad, which by the way, link in the show notes for that one, you can take it to Walmart, Best Buy, or Fry's, and they will price match that $9.99 price. So you can, if you haven't picked up Diablo 3, which you're watching this video and you don't own Diablo 3, it's kind of weird. Maybe get it for a friend. You know, holidays are coming up. Perfect gift. You can get it now. Get your friend in before patch 1.0.5, and of course, 1.1 with our PvP. So you get your friends a gift, and then you can kill them in PvP later. Right? Right. So let's talk Extra Life. Now, we've talked a little bit on our shows about, like Blizzard employees being involved with Extra Life. It comes around every year. It's a 24-hour gaming marathon where you get people to donate money, and then that money goes to local children's hospitals. Well, now this year, Eldorian is doing his own. That's right. The guy behind BlizzPlanet.com is doing his own Extra Life charity drive. But here's the thing. He's got some giveaways. He's got stuff to give you if you watch his drive or just, donate money. You don't even have to watch, but I think it's going to be pretty fun to watch, But really, it is about the money. It's about the kids. It's about giving to those hospitals. But I'm going to tune in at least for a while. I don't know, 24 hours of watching him. Whew. Anyway, so he's giving away some WoW trading card boxes. He's giving away some soundtracks for Wrath of the Lich King and big ticket item Steel Series legendary Cataclysm mouse. All right, giving these things away. So the live stream is going to start at 8 a.m. Central Time. Hey, we're Kansas City. It's when we start on October 20th, and will last 24 hours, running to 8 a.m. on the 21st, at which point Eldorian will collapse from exhaustion. Now, every $5 donation you give will enter you in for a chance to win that mouse, right? Steel Series Cataclysm legendary mouse. Legendary Cataclysm mouse. Yeah, it's cool, right? There's a picture, I'm sure. Now, there will be other prizes, like we said, maybe some others we haven't announced. There will be a minimum donation for all of those prizes, and the exact, when he's going to give those away, exactly what those will all be, those details will come a little later. Now, if you want to get a jump start, you can head over to BlizzPlanet.com right now. There's a link on the right side of the page for Extra Life. You can go and donate money and help toward the cause and get yourself entered in to win that mouse. Now, he's trying to raise at least $500 at a minimum. I'm sure he'll have no problem hitting that, but he does need your help. He needs your donations. The kids need your donations. And that $500 is going to go straight to the KU Pediatric Hospital in Shawnee Mission, Kansas. Now, he's planning on playing mostly World of Warcraft. Expansion Miss Pandaria just came out. He's been playing it like crazy, but he is also going to get in some StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm beta and Diablo 3, okay? I may even join him in Diablo 3 or maybe get him to join me on a little Borderlands 2. I know it's not a Blizzard game, but hey, there's other cool stuff out there, okay? Loot, killing things, very similar in a lot of ways. But we'll have an actual schedule and more details coming next week. So let's end, as we often do, with a question. So we haven't talked too much yet. Look, I'm going to clarify. We haven't talked at all about patch 1.1 on the show. This is, the PvP patch. That's what they keep telling us. This is when player versus player is coming. So we want to know, what are your ideas for the perfect Diablo 3 player versus player? Now, we know a few things about it from went to BlizzCon and speaking with Blizzard, they're not doing it the way they did it in Diablo 2. It just didn't work that way. There's no griefing, okay? We've seen some team deathmatch, all right? That was shown at BlizzCon. But what do you think is the perfect PvP for Diablo 3? Arenas, world PvP, some other just off-the-wall ideas. We want to hear about them. So throw them down in the comments. Like I said, we'll feature the best ones next week. And while you're on YouTube, why don't you check out the Bearded Gamer Show? It's awesome. It's got me, right? I'm talking about video games. What more could you ask for? And then go to BlizzPlanet.com. All the news, reviews, great community, everything you need to know about Blizzard Entertainment games. We'll see you guys next time.